very innovative.
Local legend.
A grafter.
A good man.
Ambitious.
Visionary.
Close friend.
Funny guy.
He's just great. He's amazing.
Selekta Rhino. Ho, 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 ho. Selekta Rhino.
Rowan Forrester, known to many as DJ Rhino Selekta, is a father, a stepfather, an entrepreneur, and a man whose love for music shaped not just his life, but the community around him. Rowan was born and raised in Bedford, a town that would later become the heart of his biggest dream.
Rowan is my brother, a very mischievous one, full of jokes, but full of mischievousness and cheekiness as well. He was so cute. He had lovely hair, considering my mum had already had 2 girls, myself and my sister. And Rowan came along with the best hair. Like, he had this kind of Indian, Blasian kind of thing going on. Mum used to plait his hair. She was like, me not have no more gal pitney. I'm still a plait here. So, yeah.
Rhino is my best friend. He's like a brother. Ultimately my life best friend. Growing up, was always cheeky chappies, always in trouble. I think we were very alike in the sense that we always wanted to make people laugh. We were joined at the hip, so we laughed a lot together. But Rowan had a natural way. It's always had a natural way. And it still has a natural way of making people smile.
I remember him like throwing batteries at the TV and stuff. But yeah, he was mischievous, and I suppose as time went on, we got closer, because when you're younger, you don't really have, I don't think you have that same bond, because you're young yourself. I suppose the connection through the music as well, got us together.
Rhino to me is my best friend of 20 plus years.
And for me, Rhino is my friend, man. My friend, a really good friend, a good confidant that we've become close over the past, 10 years plus.
First met Rhino in upper school. He was in the year below me, so my brother's year. And we actually worked together when I went to college, and we became really close from then. So that's when I actually first properly met him and started to par with him like that. Fondest memories are just from the summer holidays, just chilling, listening to music, doing mixes, playing PlayStation, drinking beer, just cracking bare jokes.
Well, I don't go as far back as you guys do, but I met Rhino, I think probably in 07, 08 the latest, through a mutual friend, just on the DJ music network scene. And just, from the get-go, just clicked, linked up, exchanged numbers as you do, and just built our friendship, our bond from early days.
Rowan's love for music started at home. His father's records, soul, blues, reggae, lovers rock, filled the house, shaping his ear for sound. Music wasn't just background noise, it was a way of life. By 16, he was stepping into the world of DJing under the name Rhino, a school nickname that had stuck. Bedford became his stage, and his deep appreciation for classic sounds made him stand out.
So I first met Rhino when I was about 16 years old, and I'm 40 now, so you can do the maths on that. My fondest memory of Rhino, we were DJing together on a pirate radio station called Energy FM from Balliol Road in Kempston, and we set it up in one of our friends' houses, and I can't even tell you his name because he's a police officer now. So even though it was all those years ago, obviously pirate radio was illegal at the time. So we played out of this house, and we must have been reaching maybe 2-3 miles from where we were broadcasting. But even in that small radius, there were so many people that were locked in and listening to us. And even then, Rhino was just so passionate about the music and DJing and just, expressing himself in that way, and I was as well. So, that was a fond memory back in the day.
To me, he is someone who is appreciates all the artists that I appreciate. We have such a common ground of music, and I just talk to him all the time about any artist, from Dilla to house music, and he's just on point with it. And he would just do these mixes, and I would just be like, I'd be walking to the bar and I'd be like,
Who did
wow,
that?
wow.
What?
Like, he did this Total tune, and he dropped the James Brown original into it, and nobody does that. And not many people know where these tunes come from, but he always knew. And he did it without like EQs, without filters, effects. He can literally just... I'd say I could be at home in my setup, and I could try 100 times, and I could never have done that. And he did it in the club, and I was just like, how has he done that? Like, I just, still to this day, I do not know how he's done that.
His love for music was obviously out there. We all knew that. And that's what connected a lot of people to him, was the passion that he had for his music. When he used to go out to his raves, to his day events, you know, and him behind the decks, like the music would just be banging one after the other. Like, you just knew he knew his music.
But beyond the music, there is something even more important to him: fatherhood. At nearly 30, Rowan became a father to his daughter Isis.
He's an incredible dad, absolutely incredible. A long time ago, when we'd spoken about my want for a child, he didn't think that he would be able to give the time and the dedication and everything that it took to be a dad. And so we waited 5 years before we actually tried for our daughter. It turns out he's an incredible dad.
He always had to make me laugh, and when I was sad, he would used to just do so many funny things to help me smile. Like, we would start dancing or singing.
Yeah. And I want to 1, 2, 3, go.
Their weekends spent baking cakes together, choosing the perfect icing and creating memories that will last a lifetime.
He loves playing games with the children and chasing them around, making up games in the garden and having fun with them.
Some of my favourite memories with my dad would used to sit on the sofa, and we would used to crawl underneath his legs. We would used to pretend he was a monster, and then my dad would pretend that he didn't notice us, and then he would used to chase after us, and that was really fun.
He loves cuddles. You know, from the time she was born, his stature and size and everything really stood out because she was only £7'1", and so seeing her on his chest, it just really did show how much of a gentle giant he is. Our daughter is very, very close to him, and he's also very close to my son Blaze as well, who he's raised since he was 4. They've got a really, really good bond, and yeah, he's just an incredible, incredible dad.
But there's always been something missing. Music is his passion.
Music is everything. It's everything to him. It's what he is. It's in his DNA.
He's like a musical encyclopedia, right? So if I heard a tune and I needed to know who produced it, what year it was made, I would ask Rhino, and he will know the answer.
He ended up showing me how to do some DJing on some 1210s. And the fact I saw how he was controlling just on the decks, it just inspired me to make me think it's something I wanted to do. I gave it a good go. It didn't work out very well. We'll leave that there. Like, yeah.
One thing that Rowan is a pioneer. Like, he sees things long before any of us see things. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that comes from a rich, like, love of music and a deep understanding. And I think that's it with me. You know, I often say that, you know, 95% of people just hear music. They don't really listen to it.
Music is, it's one of his babies. He absolutely lives and breathes for music, and it's definitely following through with our children as well. Their love of music is very eclectic, much the same as ours, and he gets so passionate. He gets lost in music. If he likes a tune, yeah, you'll see he'll get lost and the one finger will come up, and yeah, he just absolutely lives and breathes for music, and his knowledge is just incredible.
He is what I would consider to be Bashment King. Like, when it comes to Bashment music, he is the only person I know personally that can be able to hold down a Bashment rave. Like, you'd plucked this guy fresh from Jamaica and put him in this bashment rave. You've taken this DJ, put in a bashment rave, and he would absolutely slaughter the dance. When we used to do events back in the day, way back in the day as well, but Rhino was the guy that I started to do back-to-back events with, and he'd be the guy that kind of educated me with music as well, to be fair, because he would play a tune and I would look at him like, where have you got that from? Because I need that now. And he'd be like, I'll keep it tomorrow. Okay, cool, don't worry about that. But yeah, he is that guy, Bashment King for me, all day long.
When you're talking about certain tracks, he'll tell you like there might be a sample in the tune that I haven't even noticed, and he'll tell you that that sample is from this record and this record was made then. And it's just, you know, I've never met anybody more passionate about music than Rhino, to be perfectly honest with you.
Do you know what, when we were kids, I remember this one, dun, 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 dun. That lives with me forever and will always live with me forever and a day. Because that was when he was always trying to play the guitar. And that's the first, Redemption Song was the first thing he learned. It was drilled into me every time. He used to go around there after school, before school, dun, 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 dun. And then he used to sing it. But we had music on all the time. If we weren't singing together, if we weren't messing around with his decks in his room, if he wasn't, and he would teach me, he would show me all these old tunes that his dad was listening to. Roy was a massive influence to him about music. So me learning, you know, reggae, I come from like what I call the white reggae of UB40, and then he'd be chucking in some old school stuff that I'd never heard of. But no, music was his life and is his life. Everything music, Rowan music that's it. That's how he is.
When I used to go around there just to chill, like the first thing will be like, oh yeah, have you heard this tune? Have you heard that tune? Like, look at this, listen to this dub plate I've just got. Like, it was always about music. His actual like whole entity was just music.
He always had a little story to tell about the history behind certain one or two artists as well. And the fact that he used to play in, I think was it Elements at the time or Saints? Yeah. Basically, as time's gone on, the crowds that he would play to were quite younger, like over a period of years and stuff like that. So he was still up to date with whatever the kids were kind of into.
I think people that perhaps don't know him as well as his close friends and family feel that when he performs, when he DJs, you can just tell the passion's there. He's always got the latest music, you know. He's always got the classics. He knows how to work a crowd. So yeah, he's so passionate about music.
When you play back-to-back with Rhino, it's not a competition. It's an education lesson, and you're both educating each other. Like, you would pull something out, and he's not trying to have a competition with you, because don't believe me, get me wrong. If Rhino wants to have a competition with you, he can have a competition with you, and you might as well just walk off. Just go.
It's a very long day.
Just go. But he will educate you with songs that you do not know and you've never heard before, but in a way that you're like, he knows me. This guy knows me and knows the music I like, and he's playing songs that I like and I'm going to get to know, and believe me, by the end of this evening, I'm taking this from you one way or another. Rhino has a dub plate, and you probably know the one. It's a Vibes Cartel dub plate, and it's, I can't remember the rhythm it's on, but all I remember it being is like,
DJ Rhino is
the
real
man.
Real.
Yeah, that is an absolute rhythm. That could he plays that, dancehall, finish. It's done. It's done.
He's inspired me. Like, me today as the content creator, DJ, you know, personality that I am, I absolutely trace back to a random phone call I got during the pandemic. My phone rang, and we'd been talking a bit. I think we'd got to the point where we'd been exchanging WhatsApps, and he rang me, and he's like, "Bro, we're doing a festival," and then that was where it all. I think for me, that's where everything for me changed. And like, I'm quite a thinker. I like to analyze, super analytical. And I remember sitting there one day, and I think I said it to him. I said, "You know what, bro? Like, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you."
And he has always dreamt of making it more than just a hobby. That dream started taking shape in 2021. Bedford, his hometown, it needed something. A space for music, for culture, and for the community. And so, the idea for the Original Culture Festival was born. A platform for local artists to shine.
Me and Rowan used to meet up before. We had ideas of doing events. We went to go and look at venues and so forth, because I used to be in that industry before and so forth. I used to run bars and clubs, and I'd done quite a few charity events for Heart Foundation and so forth. So we looked at a few venues and so forth, and then he had this idea. He wanted to do an outdoor festival, and he approached me. He goes, I think you'd be great, basically. Like, I want to bring something new to Bedford. It's what we need, urban culture, music, so forth. And that's when he asked me to join. And then we started, obviously, organising a festival.
He wanted to bring a festival to the community of Bedford to get everyone together to enjoy themselves. For me, it represents a community, and Rhino was all about his community, especially with his music. And that's what he wanted to bring.
He was talking about it like it was his child. That's what it was to him. It was his foundation for his legacy, and that's how he wanted it to be. And I feel like that's actually what it is now.
The original Culture Festival is a representation of my brother's dream. His legacy is what he wanted to do.
We would be involved in some of his local small gigs, the Vintage Soul. And again, he's mentioned that he was going to do this festival. So it just stemmed from there, didn't it?
I remember when he first ever started it, he texts me and he goes, Ames, I don't know what I want you to do yet, but I'm doing something and it's going to be big and I want you part of it. And I was like, I'm down, because I'd worked with him previously in other events. We did events together, and I was like, I'm there. I don't care what I do, even if I have to sell t-shirts or I'm on the door. So it represents Bedford. That's exactly what it is. That's what he wanted. He wanted to represent his community, and that is what we're doing.
But just as the festival was nearing its final stages, life took an unexpected turn. In July of 2021, Rowan fell ill with COVID-19. At first, it seemed manageable. He kept making festival plans, determined not to let anything slow him down. But as the days passed, his condition worsened. Even as he fought the illness, he stayed connected with his team. He wanted the festival to go on. But on August 15th, after a 21-day battle, Rowan passed away.
Always and forever, each moment with you. It's just like a dream to me that somehow came true.
It's so mad because it's 4 years this year, and it feels like 4 minutes ago.
His passing shook everyone that knew him, family, friends, and the community.
When I first heard the news and so forth, complete disbelief. We're like, how can this happen? He had his vision, he had his dreams, we were doing his festival. Like, yeah, just utter disbelief. Like, it's too emotional to even talk about even now, even though it's been 3 years on, to be honest.
It was incredibly sad news to receive when Rhino had passed away. Obviously, you know, I'd been made aware that he was unwell, but never expected it to end in the way that it did. So it was very, very sad news, very difficult to take.
For me, he was that little brother that was always there, and someone to talk about music and life and stuff. But yeah, it's a big loss.
You know, I struggle now to look at pictures and talk much about him because he leaves a massive, massive, massive hole, because he's such a genuine, decent person. And I think he just empowers people. But with Rowan, he was passionate, and if he wanted something, he'd get it. And, you know, I'm very much like that too, and just not having him there now. So, yeah, it's hard. He was a big man, and he leaves a big, massive hole.
This was when I'd just gone on Rinse FM in 2020, and I got a message from Rowan saying, bro, big up yourself for getting on Rinse FM. Very proud moment for all us man from back in the day. Well done, bro. Have a great Christmas. Lots of love to you and your family. And for me, you know, that that just encapsulates what it's about. So in that moment, what he wanted to do was tell me he was proud of me, you know, and say, you know, I'm supporting you, I'm watching what's happening and I'm supporting you and I'm giving you props because you deserve those props. And I wasn't getting that from other people that I expected it from, but that's him through and through, right? So, you know, when we lose someone like that, you know that the world is going to be worse off for not having them. So yeah, sad time.
Losing Rowan has been life-changing in more ways than I can even put into words. My daughter being 8 years old and losing her dad was something I never ever envisioned. And being on my own after spending 14 years with the love of my life was something I never envisioned either. Nothing prepares you. There's absolutely nothing that can prepare you for losing your other half, because he literally was my other half. He was one of my best friends, and just not hearing his laugh anymore and not being able to be comforted by him, not being able to comfort him, just the conversations that we used to have, the fun we used to have, the laughs that we used to have in our household, and just, yeah, the family isn't complete anymore. Yeah, it's been life-changing, and I don't think life's ever going to be the same. Life will never be the same. He's left a massive, massive void.
At night time, when I drive, many times I'm driving home alone at night because of me gigging, and I step out my car, and I just look up to the sky all the time. I never used to do that. And I admire the stars. For some reason, I look at the stars and think, yeah, Rowan's up there. He's one of the stars.
But one thing was clear. Rowan's vision could not end here. On August 29th, 2021, the first ever Original Culture Festival went ahead as planned. But it was no longer just a festival. It had become something far greater. Rhino's legacy. Just 2 weeks after Rowan's passing, hundreds gathered, not just for music, not just for celebration, but to honour a man whose vision had brought them together. It was an emotional day, but it was also the beginning of something truly special. The Original Culture Festival isn't just an event, it's a movement, a celebration of music, community, and culture, born from the dreams of a man who wanted Bedford to have something more.
2021's festival was literally 2 weeks after. Literally while he was sick and he was dying, he was still so concerned about the festival happening and about everything going right that it was so important to him right until the very end, which meant it was important to me. So as far as I was concerned, it had to happen.
He would have wanted everyone to live life, enjoy music, see families together. He loved having local talents. A guy that just literally loved everyone and made everyone smile.
In 2022, the festival found a new home at Priory Country Park, a setting that perfectly matched its spirit. Right in the heart of Bedford, with stunning views and a location accessible for everyone, it became the ideal backdrop for what was to come. And then, in 2024, the festival expanded. What started as a one-day event grew into a full weekend. Day 1, the ultimate party, an 18-plus experience featuring 2 dynamic stages. On the main stage, garage, house, rap, jungle, and more. A high-energy mix that gets the crowd moving. And then, the reggae stage, an essential part of the festival, honouring Rowan's deep love for reggae music, a tribute to his passion and his other business venture, Reggae Matters. In 2025, the festival is set to grow again, introducing the Marquee, a brand new area acting as a third stage, bringing R&B, hip-hop, slow jams and smooth sounds into the mix. But the festival isn't just about the party. Day 2 is for the family, a day open to all ages, filled with live music, fun activities and good vibes for everyone.
I think the festival is important to Bedford because of the way that it brings everyone together. If you take away Original Culture Festival, Bedford lacks that.
It's about bringing local artists, which he wanted to bring together, whether it's DJs, whether it's rappers. He wanted everyone to come together as a unit.
Rhino knew all these up and coming people, and it wasn't just like the R&B genre, it was everything. And he just must have just listened to music all day.
I got in there on a Saturday quite early because my set was reasonably early. I think I played 5 p.m. In 2024, and just walking into that space and the way that it was set up and the stage and everything, there was just this sense of this is going to go off.
I remember performing and having his picture on the back behind, and looking at it, I thought, yo, this is for you.
On the main stage, soul, live bands, tribute acts and performances that bring generations together. On the second stage, old school garage, classic house and timeless anthems. And for the little ones, a festival experience made just for them, rides, bouncy castles, face painting and more. Each year, Bedford's homegrown DJs, singers and rappers take the stage, making the festival feel even more personal. The future of the Original Culture Festival is rooted in community, creativity and expansion. New stages, new sounds, more activities, a bigger experience for everyone. We have big dreams for the future, more stages, more genres, more experiences for festival goers to enjoy. And to make that happen, we're looking to collaborate with brands and sponsors who share our vision. We want to work with brands that align with our values: music, creativity, inclusivity. Whether it's food vendors, drink sponsors, clothing brands, or tech companies, there are so many ways to get involved. Sponsoring or partnering with Original Culture Festival means connecting with a diverse and passionate audience. It's about more than just visibility, it's about impact. From small independent businesses to larger brands, we welcome partners who want to help us take this festival to the next level. The journey continues, and we invite you to be a part of it. Let's build something unforgettable.